Welcome to the Spotlight Business Report. Data-driven, fearless, fueled. I'm Mia Rosewood, and today we're breaking down the spectacular resurgence of advanced micro devices, AMD. From the brink of bankruptcy to a $330 billion market cap, AMD is no longer just an Intel alternative. It's now a primary architect of the global AI infrastructure. But to understand where AMD is going, we have to go back to 1969. To a man who believed that real men have fabs. Founded by Jerry Sanders and 7 Fairchild colleagues, AMD started as a secondary supplier, cloning the designs of giants like Intel to survive. Sanders was a marketing genius in an industry of academics. His boisterous style defined the company for decades, but it led to a philosophy that nearly killed it. A landmark 1982 agreement with Intel allowed AMD to manufacture x86 processors for the IBM PC, cementing their role in the personal computing revolution. Sanders famously declared that real men have fabs, emphasizing the need for in-house manufacturing. But that massive overhead would eventually lead to a financial crisis. By the early 2000s, AMD was winning. They beat Intel to the historic 1 GHz mark and challenged the giant for technical supremacy. They pioneered 64-bit computing with the Opteron, forcing Intel to follow their lead. For a moment, AMD was the clear engineering leader. But technical brilliance wasn't enough to sustain massive debt. By 2014, AMD was flirting with bankruptcy, its stock trading near $2 per share. The bulldozer architecture had failed to compete, and the company was burdened by $2.5 billion in debt. They needed a miracle. That miracle arrived in October 2014. Dr. Lisa Su, an MIT-trained engineer, took the helm with a simple mantra: run towards problems. Su rejected the pursuit of short-term gains. She pivoted to an engineering-first model, focusing limited resources on high-performance computing. She moved AMD to a fabless model, partnering with TSMC to leverage the world's most advanced manufacturing nodes while shedding the debt of owning factories. She funneled everything into the Zen architecture, which launched in 2017. It was a gamble that finally allowed AMD to challenge Intel's dominance in core counts. But the real genius was the chiplet revolution. By combining small modular chips, AMD lowered costs and improved yields beyond anything their monolithic rivals could match. Under Su's tenure, AMD's market capitalization exploded 165-fold. It's one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in tech history. In 2017, AMD re-entered the server market with EPYC Naples. At the time, they held less than 1% of the market. Intel held the rest. Fast forward to today, and AMD captures over 34% of server CPU revenue, dominating the high-margin, high-core count segment for hyperscalers. By late 2025, the data center segment accounted for over half of AMD's revenue. They were no longer just a PC company, they were a cloud powerhouse. During the lean years, the semi-custom business was a financial life raft. Partnerships with Sony and Microsoft kept the company afloat while Zen was in development. Securing these deals meant that almost every major gaming console on the planet was powered by AMD Silicon, providing multi-billion-dollar revenue streams. Even as console revenue slows late in the hardware cycle, it provides the R&D funding needed to challenge Nvidia and Intel in the AI space. But now, AMD is entering Phase 2, the AI era, and they are taking the fight directly to the reigning king, Nvidia. The Instinct MI300X generated over $5 billion in its first full year. It's the first real alternative for hyperscalers like Meta and Microsoft. AMD's biggest hurdle isn't hardware, it's software. NVIDIA's CUDA has a 17-year head start, but AMD is betting on an open ecosystem. ROSIM is AMD's open-source answer to CUDA. It's becoming the favorite for sovereign AI projects and hyperscalers seeking to avoid vendor lock-in. Their HIP tool allows developers to port CUDA code to AMD hardware with minimal effort, lowering the total cost of ownership for massive AI clusters. In late 2025, Meta announced a massive deal to deploy 6 gigawatts of AMD AI processor capacity, a scale previously reserved only for NVIDIA. The $49 billion acquisition of Xilinx was the catalyst. It provided the FPGA technology critical for AMD's adaptive AI stack. These field-programmable gate arrays allow for flexible, hardware-level AI acceleration, giving AMD a unique advantage in networking and adaptive computing. Looking ahead, the MI350 series, built on the CDNA4 architecture, promises a 35-fold increase in AI inference performance. AMD's roadmap spans both 3nm and 2nm nodes, ensuring an aggressive annual cadence that puts constant pressure on both Intel and Nvidia. By 2026, the MI400 series and the Helios rack scale systems will target trillion-parameter models, aiming for total dominance in the data center. On the desktop, the Ryzen 9000 series provides the foundation for high-performance AI workstations, delivering significant instructions per cycle gains. In the mobile market, the Ryzen AI 300 series features the XDNA 2 NPU, delivering 50 trillion operations per second, the most powerful AI PC chip on the market. This exceeds Microsoft's Copilot Plus certification requirements, bringing dedicated neural processing directly to the consumer edge for the first time. And let's not forget the EPYC Turin processors, which have pushed core counts to 192, maintaining AMD's leadership in cloud efficiency. With Genoa and Turin, AMD is targeting a 40% revenue share by 2026. With Lisa Su aiming for 50% long-term, the monopoly is over. As of early 2026, analysts are projecting a target of up to $320 per share, driven by an 80% growth rate in AI revenue. Of course, risks remain. AMD's reliance on TSMC for manufacturing and the intense competition from NVIDIA's Rubin architecture will test Dr. Su's strategy. The battle for the trillion-parameter model era is just beginning. NVIDIA is not standing still, and the race for architectural efficiency is at an all-time high. From the flamboyant era of Jerry Sanders to the disciplined technical leadership of Dr. Lisa Su, AMD has always been a company that redefined itself through engineering. AMD has proven that with technical excellence and fearless leadership, even a giant can be outpaced. I'm Mia Rosewood, and this has been the Spotlight Business Report. As always, this report is for educational purposes and does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research. Don't forget to like and subscribe for deep dives into the companies shaping our world. We'll see you next Tuesday.